Hi everyone, welcome to Water Bear Reads, where I chat about illustrated classics and modern classics. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. We had a wonderful period where it warmed up and it got so lovely, and I even found my first blooms of the season. And then it snowed again, and now I'm looking out the window and we have a marshmallow world out there once again, but that's okay because spring arrives slowly and sweetly in Maine, and that is what inspired my opening. Today I'm going to show you all the books that I received for the holidays and for Valentine's Day. I was waiting for Valentine's Day, where I order books from Blackwells in the UK, and I was waiting for them to come in before I could do this video, and they actually did arrive about 3 weeks ago, but there were other videos I wanted to get out first. These also will include books that we gave my son as well, so I have 3 or 4 books that we gifted to my son to show you as well. I do have a huge pile of secondhand books that are down here that I need to show you as well, but they're all books that I sourced myself. In my next couple of videos, I'll do a video about all the secondhand books that I found over the winter. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers for leaving me comments and likes, and they're always the most wonderful comments, and I just want to say thank you so much. And I just have to also say thank you so much to another booktuber, Jen at Jen's Reading Life. She left me the most wonderful mention on her channel that she did when she was celebrating achieving 4,000 subscribers. She was doing a milestone video, and she was giving a shout out to other booktubers that she enjoys, and she included me, and I just want to say thank you so much, and for saying such wonderful things too. It just meant so much to me. In this video I have 1 picture book, about 3 I think nonfiction, illustrated nonfiction, and then the regular illustrated classics and modern classics and contemporary, as well as many non-illustrated books. And I try to talk about the cover art as much as I can. And I'll begin the video with something that I've been loving, some artistic thing that I've just really been enjoying. So I'll start it off with that. So let me take a sip of my espresso. I'm having espresso today. I had a bit of an early morning, so I will have my espresso and then we'll get started. Before I get started, I just wanted to show you what I have been enjoying. A friend of mine through Instagram, she sent me some beautiful, beautiful things from Australia. Her name is Petal, and she suffers from rather debilitating headaches that are almost constant. And the way that she deals with it is she sews. She finds sewing very relaxing. And so she creates things and posts pictures of them on her Instagram account. So I reached out to her and asked her if she would consider making me a book sleeve, and I'd commissioned her to do it. I'd pay her to do it. And she would not let me pay for it. She said yes, but she would not let me pay for it. She ended up sending me not only a book sleeve, but 4 of her beautiful creations, and I'm so excited about them. But before I show them to you, I just wanted to show you the box they arrived in. Isn't that cute? It's a wombat, and it's just adorable. There's the other side. It has all these Australian animals in it. I just love this box. How is anyone to ever throw this away? It says on here, it's the Australian art series Tanya Kalantari collection. Winnie the Wombat is an original artwork by Tanya Kalantari. So first of all, she sent me this beautiful bag to put the book sleeves in, and I loved it because there was a unicorn on it and teacups, and I just love the color pink too. I think it's so pretty. And here it says Petal and Madame Ziva. Madame Ziva is her cat that keeps her company. So I thought I would quickly, while I show you this, I'd show you also what we've been reading. The picture of Dorian Gray, I put this in the bag because it doesn't fit into any of the book sleeves. It's a very wide book. I've been enjoying this. It's very creepy, and it's getting to where I can't put it down. It's getting very exciting. I've only got a little bit left. I don't know if you can see that. So maybe, I think it's like 3 chapters that I have left, and then I am done with that. So this is one of the book sleeves she made, and I love it. It's so spring-like, and it's blinged out with some bead work, and it's quilted as well. I just love it so much. And inside here, I have what my son and I are currently reading, which is the Burgess Animal Book for Children by Thornton Burgess. I think we're now on page 108. Old Mother Nature is holding school and she's teaching all the animals facts about the animal kingdom. I was a little worried it would be too young for him because all the animals have names like Peter Rabbit and Whitefoot the Wood Mouse and Buster the Bear and so on and so forth. So I was a little worried that it was going to be like a little too childish almost. But it's an interesting book because even though there is that sort of childishness about it that I spoke of just now, the facts are actually great for older kids. We've been enjoying it. He loves it. He just loves his animal books. Then the other bag that she sent me was this one, and it has a snake on it, which was what I was just loving when I saw it. Some more bling. And the leaves are actually birds, and it's a flower, which reminds me of Petal as well. Here's the back side. And inside this one is 12 Months Make a Year, the one that I read a portion of every month. I'm looking forward to reading April in a couple of days. She also included this little pouch, which I've just been keeping those little magnets, you know, that I use to hold the page of the illustration I want to show you guys. They've been all over the place, and I've been trying to find a place to put them in one spot so they're nice and tidy. So I'm so happy to receive this. Here are the books all in one place, and I can carry them around when I go out to have coffee. Thank you so much, Petal. I really appreciate that. I'm loving it. First, I'm going to show you the picture books that we picked up for my son as holiday gifts. And the first one is Zigzag by Julie Pashkus. This was such a beautiful book. I was attracted to the artwork, which is just gorgeous. But also, my son was going through a stage where he was having a difficult time remembering to put vowels in his words when he was spelling. And so I was looking for a book that might help him. And knowing how into crocodiles and alligators he is, I saw this and I just had to get it. And it worked like a charm. It's just a remarkable story about an alligator who swallows all the vowels, and then unfortunately after that all the words are written without vowels and it's difficult to read them, and what he has to go through to get the vowels back into the words. It's published by Enchanted Lion Books, which is a publishing company I love. A lot of the books that they republish are from illustrators and authors gone by, but this one is not. This is contemporary. I just thought this was beautiful. Juicy, clamor, calico, longer, more intricate words that kids have to spell. Just to give you an idea of what level of spelling this book is good for. I really enjoyed this page. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all these books that are written without the vowels. The Phantom Toll Booth and The Borrowers and Charlotte's Web and The Hobbit and Alice in Wonderland, except they don't have vowels in them. I don't know if you can see that, but I just love that page. Julie Pashkus has so many books out. She's an artist based in Seattle, and she does quilts and silk scarves. And another book of hers that really caught my eye is a book called Crick Crack Crow, which apparently is about the intelligence of crows. I also picked up this book, Over the Rainbow. I saw it in my local bookstore and paged through it, and I just loved it. And it's by Rachel Davis, and it's illustrated by Wenjia Tang. The Science, Magic, and Meaning of Rainbows. This one was published a couple of years ago in 2023. And I remember seeing it when it came out and wanting it, but I wanted to see it in person before I purchased it. It begins with the scientific discussion of rainbows and what makes them, and then it goes on to discuss the history of rainbows and the scientists involved in their discovery, not only Isaac Newton, but other scientists throughout history from other areas of the globe. There is a section about the types of rainbows, some of which are rare, and then it talks about rainbows in mythology like Iris from the Greek myths, or the Bifrost from Norse mythology, or the rainbow serpent from Australian Aboriginal mythology. It goes on to talk about rainbows in literature and movies, Andrew Lang's Rainbow Fairy books and The Wizard of Oz, and then ends with a closer look at what the rainbow means to the LGBTQ+ community. And here it says, the rainbow is an important symbol for the LGBTQ+ community. They have had to fight for equality and their right to love who they choose and to be accepted for who they are. It's great for kids who are into science, or kids that are into history, or kids that are into social interests of any kind. It's just comprehensive and a fantastic read, not only for children, but adults too. I've been really enjoying this myself. And then we have added the most recent Owen Davey, Brainy About Bears. It's also by Flying Eye Books. My son loves these books so much. He looks out for them the way that I look out for the most recent Folio Society publications. And he's always trying to think about what the next book will be. I told you how much he loves his animals. And I love these too. I love it when nonfiction books provide not only beautiful illustrations but also great information. And you find exactly that in these books. Here's a page on bear mythology, and I love that they have Ursa Major, the constellation, which is also the Big Dipper, by the way, but I love that they have information about that. Another very comprehensive look at bears of all over the world. Passionate About Penguins was the one that came out previous to this, so we have that one too. And we just love these. They get taken off the bookshelf a lot. I have a type of book I'm not sure I've ever covered before, and that is the nonfiction chapter book. And my son and I and my husband, we all love the anatomy series. A while back, a friend of ours gave my son the Ocean Anatomy book because he was shark crazy. And we read it from cover to cover, and he loved them so much that he put them on his wish list. And my mom picked up the Wildlife Anatomy book for him off his wish list and gave it to him. And then one of my son's friends gave him the Farm Anatomy book. We've currently been working through the Wildlife Anatomy book. It's been just as wonderful as the Ocean Anatomy, and I really love these. The strength of these books is in its organization. The illustrations are just beautiful, but the way that so much information is organized, you can really cover a wide variety of topics. And the descriptions are quirky and fun, and they're just beautiful. And every section has a full-paged illustrated cover. These are written and authored by Julia Rothman, and Julia Rothman's illustrations are all over the place, on bedding, on dishes, and most notably wallpaper. I love her wallpaper, and they're just wonderful. I really love this series. I am so thankful and glad that my friend introduced me to them. I think my favorite of all of them is the Farm Anatomy because it gives so much information about making cheese and maple syrup, sources for natural dye, making candles. Here's an old-fashioned country kitchen, the types of apples, the type of pests that you don't want to see on your plants. I just really love this series, and I noticed that there's another one coming out in September, and it's Insect Anatomy, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. This is the only one that I picked up myself that wasn't a gift, and that is The Girl Who Drank the Moon. My local bookstore was selling it, and it was discounted, so I couldn't resist because it's the gift edition. And it has a couple of fun features. It has a prequel that's written that was published for the first time in this edition. And it also has these beautiful end papers and illustrated chapter headings. And it's illustrated by Yuta Onoda, who I spoke about in my last video. She was the illustrator of Kiki's Delivery Service. And she also illustrated The Ogress and the Orphans as well, which is another book I'm keen to get a hold of and read. I'm looking forward to reading this one. I hear so much about it, and I'm very curious to read it. And my son's into dragons as well, and there's a little dragon there, so I wanted to see what it's all about. I've never read Kelly Barnhill before, so it'll be interesting to dive into this one. I don't know if you can see the Canadian flag sticker in one of the cubby holes of this desk. This desk was a gift to my husband and I from his parents, who are from Canada, so I think that sticker was probably stuck there quite a while ago, but I usually cover it up with books, but I decided to leave it out because it had the maple leaf on it, and I thought it would go with the theme. I have a couple of contemporary adult books to show you. One is illustrated and one is not illustrated. I was very excited to receive this one because it's not very often that you find contemporary illustrated adult literature that is not a classic or a modern classic, that is just newly released. And that is The Backyard Bird Chronicles by Amy Tan. And is written and illustrated by Amy Tan, who you would know from the Joy Luck Club. This was a gift from my friend Erica, and I haven't read it yet. I plan to read it in April or May. It is just wonderful because it has sort of journal-like sketches, but it also has illustrations that look as though they should be in a museum. And they're just so pretty. Here are the end papers, which are just adorable with all the different species of birds. Here's what I mean about journal entries. This is a yellow jacket with a bunch of mealworms. I wanted to show you that one because I wanted you to see that it's more than just birds. She has mice in here as well, and here's an owl sketch. But then she also has these illustrations that look like they should be in a museum. They're just so beautiful. Some people just have all the talent. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to reading this, and it's a gorgeous, witty account of birding, nature, and the beauty around us that hides in plain sight. I've heard some good things about it, and it's a #1 New York Times bestseller, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. Have any of you guys read this? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know about this one. This one was a gift from my stepmom, The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. She said this was one of her favorite books that she read last year. The Giver of Stars seems to be about an English woman who moves to Kentucky, and it's during the Great Depression, and she joins Eleanor Roosevelt's traveling library and is joined by 4 other women. That's about all I know about it, but I trust my stepmom's taste, and I'm sure I will enjoy this. I really love the movie Me Before You, so I'm really glad to receive another book from this author, from my stepmom. So looking forward to reading that. And this was on Reese's Book Club at some point as well. I have a couple of illustrated classics to show you. The first one is Tove Jansson's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I was so excited to discover that Tove Jansson had illustrated a version of Alice in Wonderland. I had no idea that she had done that. So I was just chomping at the bit to get this book, and my mother and father-in-law gifted this to me for Christmas. Full of her gorgeous illustrations, and I'll show you some of them. Really love her version of the caterpillar. Look at that Cheshire cat. Of course, I had to show you the home of the March hare. This one is especially great because look, there's a picture of a shark in it. I was so happy to receive this one from my in-laws. The Animals of Farthing Wood by Colin Dann. This is a modern classic. It was published originally in 1979, and it's on our current reading list as the 1970s entry. So we'll get to it in the next couple of books, I think. This book had 2 covers that were just really pretty, and I had a hard time figuring out which one I wanted to go with. But I decided to go with this one, not only because the exterior illustration by Sam Usher is just adorable, and what I especially love is that spine. I don't know if you could see those guys right there. But also because the original illustrations are in this version. It's originally illustrated by Jacqueline Tetmar. This book is split into 2 parts, and there's a full-page illustration at the beginning of each part. There's the one, there's the other page, and then there's also little illustrations throughout the book set within the actual text. I'm very excited to read this. Apparently it's a series of books, so if we like this one, we might continue with it. It seems to be about a group of animals. Their home is being bulldozed, and they have to take off and find a new place, and it's dubbed one of the best animal adventure stories for children ever written. My husband gifted me one luxury edition this holiday season, and that is the Folio Society's Mary Poppins. I was so excited to get this because it's illustrated by Sara Ogilvie, who I love. Sara Ogilvie is from North England, and she is just the most remarkable illustrator. Her style is just perfect for Mary Poppins, and when I saw it, I was immediately in love with it. I have her 101 Dalmatians, and I gifted, along with my sisters and brothers, we all pitched in and gifted my stepmother, who is crazy about The Wizard of Oz. We gifted her an edition illustrated by Sara Ogilvie, and I had intended to get one for myself, but before I had decided to get it, it sold out. So I'm hoping that maybe one day they'll republish that one. I've spoken about Mary Poppins a couple of times. I had an interesting experience with it. I read it the first time. I wasn't really that into it. I didn't like it that much. But there was something in it that I just felt like I needed to give it another chance. So I went back and read it again, and I loved it the second time. It completely just enamored me. I was just so into it. This is a scene where they're hanging gingerbread stars into the sky, which is one of my favorite scenes. Because it is so different from the Disney version, you almost have to de-Disneyfy yourself from it before you can truly enjoy it for what it is, I feel. But yeah, so that was my experience with it. I don't know if anyone else has read it and had that experience, or read it and didn't like it, but maybe might consider giving it another read. The Cranford Collection, The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. I've kind of been on this Edith Wharton kick right now, and I'm sort of collecting her works with the intention of reading more of her works. I want to read The Age of Innocence this year. These are for sale at Books A Million, and they're so pretty and very inexpensive. And this one was illustrated by Elisa Ancori, who is from Barcelona. And in this one, she was replicating the style of perhaps H.M. Brock or Hugh Thompson. There's always a beautiful drop cap and chapter heading illustration. The rest of the book is not illustrated, but yeah, I'd like to read this sometime this year, probably sooner than later. So the rest of the books, until I get to my Blackwells order, are all non-illustrated. My brother sent me this one, The Star of Kazan, by Ibbotson, and I love these covers by Jo Wilson. They're just so beautiful. Jo Wilson did the Folio Society's 2001 Space Odyssey book. It's my second in the series. The Dragonfly Pool I received last year. And then one of my sisters gave me a Tangled Web by Ellen Montgomery, and it is the Sourcefire publishing books by Jacqui Oakley, who I've spoken about on this channel before. One of the most exciting things is she actually has illustrated all of Jane Austen's novels, and you can get them easily via ebook if you would like to read them digitally. She also has them in physical format, but they're very expensive. I have a new one from Virago Modern Classics, Rumor Gardens, Thursday's Children. And this one, I think you can see what the story's about by just looking at the cover. It seems to be about a boy who wants to dance, is what I think I can say about that. There's a boy named Dune, and he wants to be a dancer. It reminds me a lot of a book on Storyline Online that we enjoy listening to called Henry Holton Takes the Ice. Except in that family, it's hockey versus ice skating. Henry Holton wants to be an ice skater. Another couple of books that I received from my in-laws are the Agatha Christie William Morrow editions. I was gifted the Mirror Crack from Side to Side and the Caribbean Mystery. They're just so pretty, these covers. And yeah, so I've been collecting them. I now have 4, so I'm very grateful to my in-laws for giving me 2 more in the collection. And the final book outside of my Blackwells order, which I'm about to show you, is The Ghost Stories of Edith Wharton. And this is my very first Virago Modern Classics Designer Collection book. I've been seeing these books all over YouTube and Bookstagram, and I love them. They're so pretty, and I've been wanting to collect them, and I just love this one. The cover design is called Batmosphere by Ellie Kishimoto, which is a British fashion fabric designer company. They have designs all over the place. I'm actually not familiar with them. I was just reading about them for this video, but it looks like they design plates and obviously fabrics and clothing and other items of print design such as wallpaper and furniture and such. So yeah, so it's really pretty, and I love this cover with the bats. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Blackwells books that I picked up that have illustration or some decoration on the inside. And the first one that I picked up is another Manderley Press, The House in Cornwall by Noel Streatfeild. This one was first published in 1940, and Manderley Press has done such a remarkable job republishing it using the cover artwork of Ellie Jantz, who is based in Cornwall. Manderley Press is a company that republishes books that are based or set around a location. This is the third that I have. I have The Armorer's House, and I have China Court as well. I love these editions. I think they're so pretty. This one has wonderful end papers. It doesn't have any interior illustration, but it does have the chapter heading decoration at the top there. It seems to be set during World War II, and it's about 4 children who go to live with their half-uncle, whose name is Uncle Murdoch, in this isolated mansion called Tregon Hall. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, which is set by the seaside. And at first they're just, wow, this is amazing, we're going to be by the seaside. But after a while they come to realize that they're actually trapped, that they're actually prisoners in this hall. So it sounds kind of eerie and kind of fun, so I'll read it and let you know my thoughts on it. So looking forward to that. Another book that has been on our TBR list, our Read a Book by the Decade TBR list for some time, is Tarka the Otter by Henry Williamson. I was looking around everywhere for an edition of this that I thought was really pretty, and when I came across this one with cover artwork by Angela Harding, I just had to buy it. It was so pretty. The interior artwork is done by Charles Tunnicliffe, and Charles Tunnicliffe is a really well-known British illustrator who has done a ton of books, a lot of readers for school-age kids, as well as just beautiful paintings. He is known for his wildlife depictions, in particularly birds, his bird illustrations. He's really well known for those. I did find some other books that he illustrated. One was a version of My Friend Flicka, and also it seems like he did a version of The Old Man and the Sea as well. Let me show you some of Charles Tunnicliffe's illustrations. There's one of them. So this one was actually on our list for our spring Read a Book by the Decade list, but when I was researching it, I came across some information that made me worry that it was more like sort of a Fox and the Hound or a sort of a Bambi sort of situation where there's a lot of hunting and death and stuff. So I think I might actually end up reading this one to myself first, or either that or just waiting till my son's a bit older. The final book that is illustrated or has interior decorations is another one of these Hodder Press editions, Thornyhold by Mary Stewart. Mary Stewart is one of those authors who I'd love to read one a year of. And I did not expect this one to have interior illustration, but it does have interior illustration. It has repetitive chapter heading illustrations, and they are repetitive, but there are 5 or 6 of them, so that they alternate between. But I just thought that was really cool. So I thought I would read Thornyhold this year. I only have one other one, and that is The Moon Spinners. The Moon Spinners is my mom's favorite movie from when she was a kid. So I picked up Moon Spinners a couple of years ago, and I just fell in love with Mary Stewart's description of the Greek islands, and I felt like I was in Greece. It was just amazing. And after that, Mary Stewart definitely became somebody that I'd like to read more of. I love these covers by the London Transport Museum. I also picked up this beautiful version of 84 Charing Cross Road with cover design by Sara McEnemy, who also does this gorgeous cover for the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, which I just love that one. I actually put that on my birthday wish list. I'm hoping to get that one. I love her illustration. It has this sort of feel that it's like it's both new and old at the same time. I follow Virago on Instagram, and back in February they announced these gorgeous new editions, these gorgeous new Rumour Garden editions, and I ordered 2 of them. I ordered The Dark Horse, and I ordered In This House of Breed. And this cover design is done by a freelance illustrator now living in Yorkshire, but she came from Poland, and her name is Johanna Liszewicz. And I just love it. And I noticed Miranda Mills had these as well, and she made the comment that when she first saw this from the distance of it being a digital copy, she had the impression that it was Angela Harding, and I had to laugh because I felt the same way. I had the same thing happen to me. I also thought they were Angela Harding. I looked ahead. I was browsing through Blackwells, and I noticed that they're going to have some more coming out in August, and the one that caught my eye from August is Rumour Garden's The River, because I'm planning to read this one this year because of the snake on the cover. I was kind of excited about that when I saw it, but I got this one because of the daffodils. I never used to like daffodils, and now I'm crazy about them. So I thought I might photograph it with my daffodils when they're coming up. By the way, they are coming up. Before the snow came, I was starting to see the tops of them coming through the soil. And then finally, I chose 2 more Agatha Christie's HarperCollins editions. I chose Evil Under the Sun and The Mystery of the Blue Train. I just wanted to get this one because of how beautiful it is. My husband and I have been watching some of the old Poirot, Peter Ustinov Agatha Christie's, and really enjoying them. And we watched Evil Under the Sun, and that made me want to read it myself now because I just really like that one. I'm hanging on to this for the summer because I think I'd like to read this in the summertime. Evil Under the Sun has cover illustration and end paper designed by Sarah Foster, and she also did some other ones, Halloween Party, and Then There Were None, as well as Peril at End House, I think is also hers. She's a graphic designer based in London. And then The Mystery of the Blue Train is done by Neil Gower, who I noticed on his website also did a version of Lord of the Flies, as well as some of Bill Bryson's work. But the work that caught my eye was that he designed the Shakespeare and Company tote bag, which I was just so excited about. We are traveling to Paris in August. One of the places that I would like to go when we're in Paris is Shakespeare and Company, and I'm hoping I can grab a tote bag while we're there. Well, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed all these books that I received over the winter holidays. I will leave links in the description box if any of them interest you and you want to check them out. Also, before I go, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who watches to the end of these videos and engages in conversation with me through the comments and gives me likes. I am somebody who pays more attention to watch hours and engagement when I'm gauging whether I'm doing a good job or whether I'm boring people. So I really appreciate that so much. I'll be back soon with another video, so until then I hope life is treating you sweetly and kindly, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.